Hey everyone, welcome to the Buildory. Today we'll be looking at this Lego set called the Orchid. It was released in 2022 and it has 608 pieces. It's set 10311. We'll be just looking at the deconstructing it a bit so that you can have an idea of what the building techniques are like. I really enjoy the botanicals collection overall. I personally just really like it. It's very pretty. It has multiple flowers, multiple buds that are going to turn into flowers, and leaves. So I am going to deconstruct parts of it so that you can see what it looks like. So the base itself is made up of 4 stacks of these plates. So as you can see in the camera, there's these circular plates, and again, just like 4 stacks of them, and all held together by 4 Technic pieces. They do rotate, but they're not actually going to rotate in the actual set. And then all 4 are held together by this long connector pole. Again, sorry, I don't know all of the proper terms for the Lego parts. I've been building Legos for a very long time, and I still can't remember them all, but it just fits in here. As you can see, it should eventually go all the way through. Into this top part, we have the pin, and now you can see that it goes all the way through. And so, like I said, these do rotate a little bit, but we're not actually going to be rotating them. And so you can see they alternate between turquoise, orange, and yellow, and gray. And so these actually do line up with the next parts, which are these other parts from the Technic collection, which are comprised of, let's see if I can take this apart. We have 2 red pins as well as a black pin. In the center, you have this modified 2x2 brick that clicks in, as you can see. And these just alternate around, so you have the black pin that attaches into this top hole, and this other black pin that's actually attached to the base goes into this empty slot. And so that one is for the yellow, obviously. And then we have gray ones, turquoise, and orange. And so I am going to go ahead and add those all around. Okay, so again, I now have it all built up again, and the top part is 4 quarter circle tile pieces, 4 circular modified 2x2 bricks that have a piece for a connector pin, and then in the center we have another 2x2 brick with 4 spokes that are coming out of it. And these help to attach the necessary parts for the rest of the orchid. And so this is very well put together. It's very sturdy, and it's also very fun to work with these colors, because when you work with a lot of the botanical sets, you end up using a lot of earth tones, neutral tones. You do have, obviously, like with the bonsai tree, you do have some, really vibrant pink colors, but it's rare that you get to see turquoise in the last steps. And so oftentimes Lego does include these vibrant colors in the interior for the actual bases. I'm going to go ahead and attach the base plates. As you can see, these are made up of a 4x2 brick and some nice, not a matte finish, but they're more matte than the shiny tile plates. These just fit together like so, and they go all around the base to add a nice aesthetic. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach all of those. They alternate, and so this last 1x2 space goes on the top portion of the square, and then we have a matching part, and that goes on the other side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and attach all of them around, and so that we can continue on with the video. Okay, so the central stand of the orchid plant is made up of 2 stems, as you can see here, which are made of these small green pieces with a red connector pin, and these just fit in together like so. And then we also have 2 long poles that have a small black cone on top, just for, again, the aesthetics of it all. And then we also have these corner connector pieces, as you can see here. They go 90 degrees. Let's see, there. So about 90 degrees, and you have two alternating ones. They have 4 connector pins, and so they just fit directly into the spaces from the round 2x2 bricks. Next, we have these, I guess they're supposed to be branches or twigs, or they're not really twigs, but additional parts. And so these attach through these connectors as well that have space for a typical round hole and one of the connector cross pieces. And so these just stick in as so. We have 2 of them. And these go on either side of the circular plate in the center that has those 4 spokes coming out. So like with the stems that I showed you before, the actual parts where the flowers go are made of the same types of pieces, but you now have these angled spots as well that are either spaced with a blank, like an open space, or you fill it with a gray Technic pin that we then place a round green tile over to kind of act as a new bud, but it's, you know, just a closed space. And so again, these just fit together with those red connector pins. We have multiple different shapes of the branches. You can theoretically make them whatever shape you want. Another nice aspect of Lego is that you can, you don't have to follow the instructions exactly, but today we're just going to be doing those the way that the instructions were actually given. And so hopefully you can see, I know the camera angle isn't great and neither is the zoom, but we're just gonna go with it. The branch that goes on this connector piece here, it's actually held together by a special Technic piece that also has a little pin in there. Okay, so now that we've reattached all of the branches, the next step is the actual leaves on the bottom of the pot. And so they actually used these specialty printed pieces for this set. This is all just one piece, and so we have some kind of like Technic slots, as well as just some, shiny coating tile components. And the other side is made up of 2 halves, as you can see here along the seam, as well as a modified 2x2 brick with a connector pin. And so this just fits together, as you can see here, to make one leaf, and then it's held together by a 2x2 tile. And so that just clips on like that. And then if you remember before from the actual base, we have some connector pins that move a little bit. And so that's actually the spaces where the leaves actually fit in. So I will go ahead and put those in. And because these are Technic pieces on that, remember from the brown pin on the inside, it does spin a bit. So you can, move the leaves around. This does turn. And so you can have the aesthetic that you want when you put it on your desk or on your shelf. They also have another type of leaf. There's only one of them. Again, it uses this 2x2 tile and these specialty printed pieces that are held together by Technic pins that just slide together. And again, you just put the 2x2 tile back on, and this attaches to the angled Technic connector piece. Just fit in, and you can place the leaves however you'd like. You can turn them. And this last piece is actually different, and so it's held together by these hinges. Let's see if you can see them, that are also clipped together by this geared Technic piece that kind of snaps into place. And so you can get different angles without it being a full rotation. It's very rigid. And so you actually have 2 hinges, as you can see. And so then you can have 2 of these specialty printed plates that just snap into place. And you can adjust the leaves as you would like, but the actual instructions have them relatively close together. And so this fits into the last pinhole. The actual instructions have this just bent down a bit. We now have a nice, it's actually quite large base for the rest of the plant. And so then we will move on to the actual petals. First, actually, we will look at the little flower buds. And so they're actually very pretty. They're fortunately printed. They are not stickers. Lego did a good job with that. I'm sometimes enjoy putting stickers on, but this would be very challenging to actually get right, given all of the challenging angles of the flowers themselves. These fit in onto undesigned Lego minifigure heads. And so those just pops in, and the gray Technic piece that we had before, that just fits in nicely into those. So let's pop those back into place. And there's one up there, and then the other one is up here. So we'll put that in. Now you can see those little buds that are in there, and the actual petals themselves, they're very intricate. So they use this octagon piece that's actually in quite a few botanical sets. I'll show the succulents in another video, and those make heavy use of these octagon pieces. As you can see, we have 5 petals on the outside, and so these center ones are fit together. It honestly, I don't know if it is, but it looks like a little fork, but this is a very thin plastic white piece, and it's held together by honestly what looks like a Lego arm, like a minifigure arm. And so that just sticks in and goes onto one side of the octagon piece. There are 3 of those, as you can see. We have these 2 petal parts that are held together by this 4-pin, it looks kind of like a gear. Those are actually, as you can see, there's these pins here that will then go into the hole of the pink piece. We have the sprouts of the orchid, and those are held together by a black double pin, and the center is actually a magenta color frog. And so that's different than the bonsai tree that we had, which was a light pink. But again, a nice use of the frogs by the Lego creators. I would like to collect all of the colors at some point, but I have not yet. These just fit in, they have a connector pin that fit into the 1x2 Technic pieces that were placed onto the actual stems. And so these just clip into place. You do have to be careful that you don't break off any of the pieces. I have found that putting the actual flowers on can be a little tricky. Sometimes they are a bit flimsy. I will go ahead and put all of the remaining flower pieces on. So after you've put all of the flowers into place, that is actually, I want to keep that into the video. That is one of my least favorite parts of this set, are these fork pieces that do connect to the octagon. They really seem to fall off very easily, and so you do have to be careful with that. The last portion is a bunch of these brown pieces. We have they look like claws almost. So we have a dark brown, a medium brown. We also have just 2x2 circular tile pieces, as well as these branch pieces that connect in through a modified 2x2 brick. And so these just go on either side of the base. We have these pieces that literally just, you place them in there. Really, the last step is you just put all of these pieces, you just throw them into the base. And so they're kind of supposed to act like dirt or mulch. There's no correct way to actually put them all in. I like to put these circular pieces into the center just because they fit in easily. Just continue to place them around to fill in any gaps, because you don't want to be able to see any of the color of those vibrant Technic pieces that were used to actually build the base. Once you have all of these little wood chippings pieces, I suppose is what they're supposed to be, into the base of the pot, you are actually done. And so I will take you up on a closer look so we can see that, you know, it does look very nice. It's a very nice display piece. I really enjoy it, and it was one of the first botanical sets that I got. The first botanical set was the succulent, which I will make a video of at some point. But let me know your thoughts. I would recommend this set if you really enjoy their botanicals collection. It is bigger than what you might expect, and so make sure you have the space for it. But I would really recommend it. It looks very pretty, and the LEGO designers did a great job with this. So let me know what you like or dislike about it in the comments, and what other kinds of sets you might want to see me look over next. Thank you again for watching this video. I realize that the production quality isn't extremely high, but hopefully one day I'll be able to get there.